Subscribe and press the bell icon to get notified for the latest tech videos.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Wasay here, and today in this video I'm going to show you how I built this ultimate YouTube studio from scratch. So basically this room was a store room and it was completely a wreck, but now you can see the room is looking pretty much better and I can make very decent videos out from it. So in this video I'm just going to give you an overview of how I built this room completely from scratch to a usable YouTube studio. So that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to go in depth of everything, but I will give you tips and tricks that you can apply on any kind of room. So yeah, so let's begin the building of this YouTube studio. So this is the room that I'm going to use to make the YouTube studio that you just saw in the intro. So as you can see, the wall conditions are really rough and it's not quite clean. Well, the reason is that this room was used as a store room, but I chosen this room for a particular reason, and I should tell you why everyone or most of the people should choose this kind of room for their YouTube studio. The first and the most important thing is that I have a window on the right side, meaning that I will have continuous daylight or soft light for my studio. So this is the biggest benefit of having it. Like the window will throw light and I will be around like here on the corner somewhere sitting, so the daylight will come to my face and it will make a really good impression on the video overall. Also I can make unboxing videos as well by placing the table in front of the window. So that's the reason why I chose this particular room. And the other thing that I should tell you, that you should know where you are going to place yourself the camera, and you should know where your studio should be placed. So I know that this room is shorter in width but longer in length, so that's why I'm using that particular corner. In the lengthwise also it depends on your cameras and lenses, so in my case that corner worked quite perfectly. Other than that, you can see the walls are quite dirty, so the first thing that I will do is to remove all the remaining stuff. As I told you, this was a storeroom, so I'm putting all the stuff to another room which is now a storeroom. So this will become a studio in the future. So first of all I'm going to remove it, and then you can see the walls are quite dirty. I'm going to clean them and then they will get a new paint so that everything looks quite cool. So I'm just going to paint it and we're going to see to the next part. Here you can see the paint job has been completed on the walls and the overall room, and you can see that the walls are looking pretty much better as compared to the previous where there was no paint at all. So things, as you can see, are looking quite clearer and cleaner than before. So now you can have your stuff mounted on the wall for your background, like those shelves, etc. But in my case I'm going to be using lamination sheets placed vertically, two here and two on the side. So this will make like an L of lamination sheets. Each lamination sheet will be around 4 feet wide and 8 feet tall, so it will make a total of 8 feet by 8 feet on one side and 8 feet by 8 feet on the other side of the room. It really is not needed for many of the rooms, but the lamination sheet has quite a beautiful texture that I want as my background wall, so I'm going to be using that. So now since the paint job has been complete, now we can move towards the woodwork of building our ultimate studio. So as you can see, the woodwork is almost completed. We have the lamination sheets on the back to act as a wall, as I told you, to give a different color. Obviously you can paint it as well if you want. Here we have some wood left which we are going to remove once the glue has dried up. Other than that, the main building of this studio has been completed. Now we can move towards the next phase, that is adding carpet on the ground or floor, some pictures on the background, some details, some shelves, etc., just to give more look to it, and some fluorescent bulbs as well. So here we have one window throwing light to it, and we also have another window right here. So we're going to get natural light from both sides if we want, but if you don't want, we can just put a curtain over here and the process will be done. Here I am, as you can see, after the initial setup of the lamination sheets on the background. As you can see, the background is looking much cleaner as before, as I showed you at the start of this video. But even though the background is clear, but it's kind of empty because we don't have anything on the background. So I'm thinking of adding some shells on the background and some pictures, some colorful pictures on the side as well. So in this way the background will be more popped up and you will see a better bokeh effect, as the background will be more blurred out from me, the subject. So the next step is to add some details on our studio, and that's the thing that I'm going to do right now. So I will just run a quick time lapse of me setting up the details on the background. So here is the time lapse. So here you can see I have added the background elements, and now the scene is looking much more beautiful. We are getting more details and more attraction to the video overall. So now we have completed the background, the basic or main studio setup. Now let's move toward the most important thing, that is lighting. So currently I'm just using ceiling bulb, so that's why, and some natural light as well from the right side of the window. So that's why the light is not even, and it's a weirdish kind of lighting setup right now. But now the next phase is going to be setting up the light for this studio. So but the main thing is, you can see just by adding some pictures and some little bit of background, you can really change the scene very much, and it looks very beautiful. Anyways, let's move towards the lighting phase of this studio build. So for the lighting setup, I'm going to be using the 3-point lighting setup. Basically in the 3-point lighting setup, we have three kind of lights. One is the key light, that is basically the main light throwing light on your subject. Then we have the backlight that throws light on the back side of your subject to make it more discriminating from the background. And last but not least, the third one is the fill light. Now the fill light has lower intensity than the main key light, and it is usually on the opposite direction. So I'm going to show you how I did it on this particular studio, and you can do it on any kind of studio. So first of all, I'm going to power off all the lights. These are the roof bulbs. So now I'm going to first of all enable the key light. So here I enabled the key light. As you can see, it is throwing a lot of soft light on the subject, that is me. So I have placed it at around 45-degree angle from the camera. It is placed on the right side of me. So the key light is actually a soft box. In my case, it's in particular, it's an octa box which has 8 sides. So it is a 120 centimeter octa box, because the larger size you are going to get, the more softer light you are going to get. So I'm using the Godox SL60W octa light with 120 centimeter octa box. So this is my main key light. So now for the second light, that is our backlight or spotlight. So I have enabled the backlight as well, and you might see some discriminating light on the background as well. So now for the last light, we have the fill light, that is usually on the opposite side of the main key light. So the main key light is on the right side, so the fill light will be on the left side. As you can see, I have powered it on and it is filling up the shadows. So basically the fill light is not necessary. Most people use it but many don't, so it depends all on personal preferences. So this is the main three lighting setup of your studio that I showed you. So you can implement it any way you want. Maybe you can have the key light on the left side and the fill light on the right, or maybe you don't want any fill light. So now you can see the background is still a little dull, so we can add some background light as well. In my case, I have bought a retro bulb, so I'm going to enable it and it will add more mood to the background. So I have enabled the background retro bulb as well, and you can see it is adding more mood to the overall video quality. So now you can see the white balance is still not corrected, so you need to correct the white balance on your camera. You can check out different videos on YouTube on how you can correct the white balance of your camera. I'm not going to show you because it takes a lot of time. Also, you need to know how to set the shutter speed and frame rate of your camera as well. So currently I'm recording at 4K at 30 fps. So basically your shutter speed is double the frame rate. So if I'm recording at 30 fps, then my shutter speed on the camera is 60 fps. If your camera doesn't have 60 fps, then the you can say the nearest value would be 50 shutter speed. So basically that depends a lot on which version of the camera you are using, and also how which lens you are using. I'm using the Sony a6400 and currently the aperture is f4.0 on this particular lens. Again, I'm not going to go in detail about the camera settings because this is a really huge topic and I cannot cover it in this video because already the video is, I think, very long. So yeah, let me just set up its white balance as well. So you can see I have set it the white balance as well. So basically I prefer a little warmer color on my particular videos, but you can set the white balance to neutral as well. It mainly depends on your style and your taste of the videos. So anyways guys, this is how I built the ultimate YouTube studio from scratch, as you saw on the start of this video, and built this studio right now. So all of the things are quite basic, and you saw how you can use some basic things like these lamination sheets, for example, to make the background more appealing, and then adding some extra stuff like these picture shelves, etc. And then when we move toward the main thing, that is the lighting. So guys, if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have any kind of questions regarding this video, write them in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Other than that, thank you for watching and stay safe.